And sometimes you start from scratch, depending on what's happened in your life. You start from zero. And it almost feels like you're starting right back when you left the house as a teenager. Just remember, there's a lot of teenagers that won't be able to leave their homes now. They won't be able to fly the nest. They won't be able to go off and do their own thing. But I'm also one to say, where there's a will, there's a way. So there's always a way. You just have to find it. And now more than ever, we have to dig deep and think outside the box to find your version, your success. Hi, everyone. We're jumping on and we're going to talk about success. Your version of success, the angel's version of success, and the difference between the two to make you more successful. And we're not talking about in anything in particular. We're talking about successful in life in general. Okay, so this is what we're going to dive into today. Want to find true success? Then follow the divine's lead. Follow your angel's lead. Channeled messages to help you rise above and succeed. When I look at my own idea of what success is or what is successful, am I happy? That's the first thing that I go to when I ask if we want to use the word success. Second thing is, do I have freedom? Do I feel freedom? Okay, in my life. And then when I narrow that down, freedom can be freedom to be heard, to speak up, to be heard and voiced. Also freedom to express yourself the way that you feel like you like to. Freedom of working when you want to or not. So that's time freedom. And then there's also financial freedom, or we could say abundance freedom, because it may be a form of abundance you haven't even thought of that leads to your freedom. So there's our way of how we see success, or we see succeeding in life. Maybe a good paying job, maybe a raise, working, 50 years, and then you get to retire. If that's your idea of success, that's your choice. My idea of success is a little bit different. When you're younger and you're a teenager and you're always in search, you're searching, you're searching, you're searching. And then the older that you get, as you turn 25, 30, 35, 40, and onwards, you have more of a resistance. And sometimes you start from scratch, depending on what's happened in your life. You start from zero. And it almost feels like you're starting right back when you left the house as a teenager. Just remember, there's a lot of teenagers that won't be able to leave their homes now. They won't be able to fly the nest. They won't be able to go off and do their own thing. But I'm also one to say, where there's a will, there's a way. So there's always a way. You just have to find it. And now more than ever, we have to dig deep and think outside the box to find your version, your success. I like to add in freedom in there because I think it's very important to be successful. Also for me means having freedom. You ask those people in China that are living in those tiny little, they call them coffin apartments, and it's just enough for their bed. And they live like that, all in these giant apartments. And yeah, you ask how they feel free there. For me, space, land, nature, fresh, clean drinking water, clean food, variety of produce to choose from. These are all very important to me. Society's description of success and spirit's description of success vary drastically between the two. So there's society's description, and then there's spirit and how they would describe success. Now more than ever before, it is important to think outside the box to secure your futures here on Earth. Be willing to sense and feel if something feels right or not. So if you're not sure, quiet your mind and sit with the stillness. Ask the question and feel how your chest and your stomach feel. Okay. If it's tight, if your body feels heavy, like you can't get up, that's a no. If you feel light and butterflies and all your chakras are wide open, your chest is relaxed, that's a yes. Many showing off their worth, value by what they own, or should we say what the bank owns. Once in debt, depending on the amount and the type of debt, it can be very difficult to secure the type of future you would like for yourself and your loved ones. So unless you are investing in assets that produce significant amounts of money, then it's not going to matter if you're in debt. As long as you can make those payments, it doesn't matter if you're in debt. In fact, that debt can actually be used against the taxes that you're going to have to pay against what you have in your account, also what you're earning in your account and your assets. So if you use debt correctly, it can actually be quite beneficial. But if we don't use debt correctly, it might hold you back. It might stop you from having the kind of future that you would like to have. But then again, when I look at most of the world right now, everybody's up shit creek. And what does everybody expect? I mean, you increase things to such a degree. I'm seeing people taking out personal loans just to pay groceries and rent. I've been seeing that online. And when that happens, we're heading in not a good direction. We would rather you spend quality time with yourself, your pets, your loved ones, resting, relaxing when you need. And then in these moments, write down a manifestation list. Anything goes. Keep adding to the list every week to 2 weeks, maybe every month, and then you can mark off what comes in. So a manifestation list in order for us angels and all of creation to help you create your desired outcomes. What is it you want? Time freedom? Financial freedom? What else? A plot of land to use for yourself, your family, or to hold gatherings, building up to spiritual gatherings, possibly retreats, weddings, Airbnb, glamping, honoring the divine feminine with goddess gatherings. These are all suggestions how a piece of land can work like very well in generating an income or abundance. Okay. There is just so much to be thankful for and to look forward to. Only focus on gratitude and your soon to be desires as we co-create each of them alongside of you, dear ones. When we look at the manifestation list, we could equate it to like a vision board, but a vision board is visual and it's too limiting for me personally. Once I started doing this manifestation with the angels, they would read my list and then they get busy and get to work. And then I would watch as things change drastically. And I would keep coming back and I keep adding to the list. And I would say, this or something better, angels, thank you. So maybe they have an even better idea than what I think I have. And that's really important too. Let them take the reins and bring in something even better. Take yourself out of the equation where you suppress the light within. Stop suppressing yourselves. Stop suppressing your light. Stop suppressing your words. Shine your light brightly. Don't let other people beat you down or suppress you or keep you under their thumb. And so that's really important that you do not allow anything or anyone to suppress your light. And then they want me to keep channeling after that. So that's what it says. Continue channeling. Here we go. Ready. Only you can decide what the path is that lays before you. Only you can make the choices that are necessary and needed to secure your happiness, your light being bright within, the joy that streams forth from this light, the smile upon your face, and so much more, dear ones. Only you can secure this path for yourselves. Only you can write down what you so desire, wish, and dream of, so that each of us here can read this list and get busy and get to work, assisting you, guiding you, and helping to direct you in the direction onto the path that leads to great joy and happiness. She says, mind you, suffering plays a role at times in one's life, and some of you have chosen to sign up for some form of suffering. However, the level of suffering that you can take it to and the path in which you walk upon is in your hands. You don't need to take it to those great heights and those great levels, and you don't need to walk a path that might include other people or other experiences, places, jobs that produce even more suffering. This is in your hands, each of your hands. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, beloved one. I was going and picking up some cleaning products from this lady at this apartment building near where I live, and she seemed like really kind of not sure where she was going in life. She was about 38, living in a tiny, tiny little apartment, maybe 200 square foot. And so she was heading off to this larger city, which I had been before. I had lived there before. And this city is surrounded by prairie or flatland. No, not many trees, not much water, no mountains. And their motto is work hard, play hard. And it's really about partying and restaurants, house parties, I guess. So at some stage in your life, I kind of try to tell her that, like, there's only so much you can kind of get from that city. She had already committed. But I was thinking to myself, it's one thing to be uncertain within when you're a teenager, which is to be expected. But as you build your self-worth, as you build your self-love, as you build that foundation of that platform for the rest of the pyramid of your life. Like if a platform isn't built good in Egypt, that whole pyramid, all the blocks fall down. In fact, they found pyramids that they started with and they had to restart in a different location. And that pyramid is now sinking into the ground. So that platform that you build within yourselves of self-love, self-care, self-respect, and all the really good, important things is so imperative. And then quieting and stilling yourself long enough to feel the answer in your body or to hear the answer form in your mind. Okay. So, so important. As we move forward, that leads you down a path of being happier and happier and happier. That's the number one thing I've always heard from the angels is always follow your internal guidance system. Others will have strong opinions, but ultimately at the end of the day, giving their opinions, telling you what to do or what they think. But at the end of the day, you are living your life and you must decide, not anyone else. There were times where I was like, well, what job should I take or what career or, you know, where should, and it wasn't what I thought it would be. And it's actually been way better than I thought it would be. The rest of society says, go to university, go to college, get a job. But when I would walk into the colleges and I would walk into the universities, I would get this sinking feeling in my chest. And I thought, well, this can't be the path because it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right. So I ignored that and I went in and I took a couple classes in flight attending and also to be a travel agent. And it still didn't feel good. I even tried to upgrade my grades thinking, well, if I upgrade my grades, well, then that'll lead me to something. Still didn't feel good. Still didn't feel right in my chest. So then I bopped around in life. I've done a lot of different jobs. I've done making wedding cakes, floral bouquets. Okay. I've done all of these jobs. I've worked in a bakery cutting and bagging bread and buns and glazing danishes and icing. I've had my fair share of different professions as I went along in my 20s. But what I came to realize moving into my 30s is I didn't like being told what to do or how to do it. And so I decided to start my own business. And so that's what I did. I was self-employed. Then I was a little bit happier. I actually really enjoyed that. But you have to be self-motivated. You have to put up advertisements. You have to do marketing. Okay, so I've had this too, where the angels were encouraging me, go ahead and purchase lottery tickets or whatever. So they were encouraging me to go and put my money there, which was interesting. And the interesting thing was I would always win just a little bit to cover my tickets. So I thought, or my initial purchase. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I said to them, just like you're saying here, why is it that I'm being guided in this direction, but I'm not winning? Okay. The big, millions. And then they would chuckle. And what it really is leading you in that direction to have you optimistic, excited, sending out abundant type of vibrational frequency. So it's not necessarily winning the jackpot or winning the lottery. What it is sending out the frequency of abundance, which carries out like a radio station wave, if you will, of energy that's sent out that brings in abundance into many different areas of your life. Now, if somebody offers you something and you say no, oh, well, let me pay for dinner tonight. Well, I'm not using my second car anymore. Um, here, take my car. And we refuse. That's on us. The abundance will keep coming in. And so the angels will steer you in the direction of playing the lottery for a little while, not forever. Or they'll steer you in certain directions of having certain people come into your life that you aren't meant to have a relationship with, but they're to spark that energy and kind of get the energy flowing, if you will. I kind of call this an intermediate person. And then that leads to the person that you're meant to be with, for example. But it's all about changing our beliefs, changing our thoughts, changing our frequency. And ultimately, the beliefs and thoughts lead to frequency of energy that we send out. To let you guys know, I've moved the date for the Mediumship for Beginners course to October 19th until the 25th. And it's 30% off at $111 if you guys are interested in taking that with us. We have several people signed up thus far. And I'm really, really excited about it. The 102 is going to come in November. I also have a remote healing class coming up with Archangel Michael. So if you feel like you'd like a deep healing with Archangel Michael, that's coming up. And then I also have a class on Sasquatch, okay, also known as Bigfoot or Yeti. And that one is coming up in the winter as well. So I'm really pumped about that one. The experiences, the vast experiences of people that have come to me over the years is unbelievable. Not only having lifetimes in a Bigfoot body, but having experiences of seeing them. It's fascinating. I will see you in 1 week, and we're going to be jumping off the deep end with the Pleiadians. See you then. Bye.